And we're live. I'm just waiting on YouTube. Hello, Teresa. Sorry, Sully, we're live now. Sorry.
Hello.
I just always go to my my Facebook page to make sure we're live, and then I share it to mostly Second Life friends group. Sammy,
Awesome.
I'm so glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, I think we're done. All right, so I'm gonna go now back to Second Life. Hi, Sully. Are you there, Sully? Are you getting cold feet? Sully! Hello? You okay? Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I'm talking.
Oh, no, you were not, actually.
Yes, I was.
Oh,
I said,
no.
hi, Ollie.
Our first fight of the conversation. We're going to get started with our first fight.
Oh, you had something turned off.
I'm sorry. No, it wasn't me, really.
I haven't changed anything.
Hey,
I don't
Darla.
know. I'm not sure.
He's getting stage fright.
Not at all.
All right. Hey, everyone. It is the middle. Well, actually, not even the middle of the day. It is already 3 o'clock for me, and as well as 3 o'clock for you. We're on the same time, right? Central time?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So, apart from all of my Second Life events and advertising videos, I actually tend to do some of these videos from time to time, which I do miss doing them. And today was amazing with Sully. We're going to talk with you, Sully, about what we had already discussed. It is a little bit of an uncomfortable, I don't know, I want to say uncomfortable because I just want to be very respectful about everything. But again,
I'm an open book. It's all good. It's all fair game.
And that's why I thought you were perfect for it. So, I mean, let's start with your name anyways, and then we'll start talking about what we're going to talk about.
Okay. Well, in Second Life, I am Sully Von Swag.
Cool name, by the way. Von Swag.
Yeah, there's a long story about that. Any of your viewers that are interested, they can come talk to me about it and say, how did you get that name?
Sammy, ask the hard-hitting questions. Well, I mean, obviously, my main Second Life job is nothing but social media, right? I don't know if you are on your social medias a lot, but we do actually have this there's always conflicts about everything in Second Life, which is very, very normal. And one of them is always the younger people versus older people. Oh, Dolores, how are you? She said, I came in Second Life 13 years ago due to a friend on IMVU telling me about it. Sadly, though, she died, and I'm still wanting to learn on how to make things and socialize. A lot of times I find myself alone, though, and still no further learning to make my own clothes, jewelry than I was before. I just want to do it for me, not to make an income from it. I'm 61 years old. I just need something that will help me feel more knowledgeable than I am now, and to learn on how to work with Photoshop for texture mesh making, and I have no clue on how to use blend. Okay, so that's a little bit... Hi, Dolores.
I can show her how to do most of that, just not with Photoshop.
There you go. Well, thank you for joining us, Dolores. That's actually the topic we're talking about. So, Sully, like he said, he's an open book. And then you want to tell them how old you are.
I am 62 as of February 12th.
And ooh, February. Oh, so you just turned 62.
Yeah, same birthday as Abraham Lincoln too.
Oh, nice. I want to say that I knew that, but I didn't. I'm horrible at that.
She
And
didn't research her client.
yep. So she's a baby, but I keep the older people young on Second Life. Well, that's a good way to see it. So, how did you find Second Life? How old are you in Second Life, first of all, by the way?
Um, However old people want me to be. I've never
No,
assigned
no, no, no.
myself an age.
I meant like your avatar when
Oh,
you started.
Avatar. Oh, that's it's kind of complicated because I came to Second Life in a very, very bizarre way.
Oh, okay. You can
I
tell us
was
about it. I was
Yes,
going
I
to
was
ask you how you started. So let's do both. How did you find Second Life and how old you are in Second Life?
okay. I was part of some live streaming websites, many, 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 like back to 2008.
Mm-hmm.
There was a live streaming website called Blog TV. Anybody with a webcam email address could sign up and do a show.
Okay.
I met a lot of musicians on that website. At that time, in 2008, was about the time that I had quit the band that I was in, and I had written some originals. On that website, I found a show called Unsigned Musicians. And I thought, hey, I'm an unsigned musician. I've got some original songs. So I
Oh,
started
nice.
hanging out there. That website got bought out by a large CBS corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of us, I got involved with a bunch of Native American flute players
Oh, nice.
through
Okay.
through the first website. Very mellow. Actually, one of them lives down in Texas. Very mellow music, very relaxing, chill. Had somebody told me as an electric guitar player who used to be into rock big time, would be listening to Native American flute players, I would have thought they were crazy, but I absolutely love it. It's just so relaxing. So through the new site that we moved to, there was a woman that started attending the live music shows, and so there's a little video with the person doing the show,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a chat room next to it,
Okay.
and
And Second Life.
the lady that I met through that, she was the one that told me about Second Life.
Oh, okay.
So it was almost 7 years ago, 6 years and some months.
Seven
Shh.
7 years ago is not that long ago.
Right, six and I mean, look, 6 years, 10 months ago.
That's amazing. So I guess technically a lot of us that have been here more than a decade consider you a baby in Second Life.
Pretty much, yes, pretty much.
So at that time, how old you were? If we're doing if we're counting down, you said 7 years ago?
Well, 6 years, 10 months is how old this account is.
So is this so this is your first account or no?
Yes, this is my very first account and my only account ever.
Because you believe in alts or you don't believe in alts?
I have alts for building purposes,
Yeah,
animating furniture, but that's it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not out trolling people and griefing and stuff like that. I'm not out to ruin anybody's fun.
So
And
what made you stay in Second Life the minute that you joined it? Because I know you told me you have not taken a break since you joined, like it's almost 7 years ago.
you're right. Well, I originally came to SL to play and sing.
Oh, okay.
Then I started going around and hearing very talented musicians, live musicians in SL, and I was like, I have nothing to offer these people.
Oh no, don't say that. Okay.
So I started learning how to build and create stuff.
Okay.
But I did not come into Second Life in the normal fashion.
Mm-hmm.
The lady that told me about Second Life, she goes, "Oh, you could create a Second Life and you can go in there and play and get tipped." I'm like, what's Second Life? I had never heard of it, knew nothing about it. She said, "Oh, but you got to get the Firestorm viewer." So I got I went on the website, I created an account, got the Firestorm viewer. I walked around as an orange cloud for I don't know how long.
Right, right.
I found nothing of interest. I knew nothing about being able to teleport. I thought you had to walk everywhere you went. One day, some nice lady came up to me and she said, "Do you realize you don't have a body or skin?"
You were just walking around like that. For how long?
It was about 2 weeks. And
Oh,
I said, huh? And she said, "I'll TP you to get a body and skin." I said, huh? I had no clue. I thought what I saw was the way I was supposed to see it.
Yeah.
And I tried it for about 2 weeks and it did nothing for me. So
Well,
I stopped for 2 weeks.
at that time, we
After
already
2 weeks.
had mesh bodies, right? Yeah, 7 years ago, we were.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I tried it for about 2 weeks and I hated it. I was like, this is stupid. And I think it may have been because of my computer, because everywhere I went was just all gray and
Ah.
in 2016 I got a new computer and I've been here ever since. So 2016 is actually the official time
That's
when
okay. Which is not
yeah.
that far. It's maybe about 5 years.
Yeah.
And when you came in here, was it hard to find a community that was around your age?
No, actually most of the people I ran across were my age and older.
Okay. And that's just that kind of explain to me, how is it that you came around people your age? Because it happens differently for a lot of us. So for people my age, I only came across people my age. And does that just kind of conclude to, because you're only looking for hobbies that are relatable to people your age, versus, of course, mine as well?
I would say, just as in First Life, because you will rarely ever hear me say real life, just as in First Life, you do things, whatever you do them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you were going to find people that are usually in your age group doing those same things, unless you're one of the rare, unique people that, like, I've known younger people back on that website. I knew a kid, teenager, 16 years old. He loved Tom Jones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Old souls is what you call them.
He had a DJ show on that website, and all the kids his age would come watch him, and they're like, "Tom Jones, come on, play it." And I don't know, whatever was current back then.
Right.
Why don't you play this band? Why don't you play that band? He's like, "I love Tom Jones. Listen to Tom Jones. He's great." So you get involved with people that have like interests. I don't know that age plays so much a part of it, but we tend to do things in a certain age bracket. Like, right. I'm younger than my chronological age.
Okay.
I don't think of myself at that age at all.
So you portray that in your Second Life,
right?
Which is what would it be that you do in Second Life that portrays your younger self?
I like to have fun. I'm a big kid. Okay, not to make this a depressing episode or anything, but I lost my father at a young age.
Okay.
So I had to grow up really, really quickly. So now in my later years, I want my childhood. So SL partially provides that.
That's really interesting and amazing, because I mean, of course, it's all credit to you, but it's crediting Second Life in itself. And I know we talked a little bit prior to us going live, and why it actually Second Life is super important to you. It's not just regularly important to you, but it's super important. Do you want to talk about that? I think you cut off. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you did cut off.
I'm here.
Okay, there
talking.
You go.
Back on that website, we had a friend of ours, one of the flute players, who had some health issues. Several of us got together and we held an online benefit for him and raised funds for him.
Okay.
In 2018, I came close to dying.
Okay.
It was just after Christmas. I went to the emergency room and I had an abdominal aortic aneurysm.
Ew.
Those things are really bad. I had never heard of one. The doctor came to me and said, "You have a AAA," and I said, "I've got auto coverage." They had me on some pretty good drugs, killing the pain at the time.
What is
Um,
that? I've never heard of it either.
Coming off your heart is your aorta. Part of it goes up, part of it goes down. In
Mm.
your abdomen, men in particular can get a big bubble in their aorta.
Okay.
And if it bursts, you end up passing away in about 5-10 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And the doctor told me that if it were 2 or 3 centimeters, we'd put you on medication, we'd send you home. He said, yours is about 5 to 6 centimeters, which means it's ready to burst.
Mm-hmm.
And then he explained if it bursts, what happens. I was like, oh, okay, now I understand. So it was my Second Life little sister, Velvet, and 2 other venue owners that got together. And they had a 12-hour benefit for me in Second Life. The lindens that they raised, I was able to cash out and survive for the 3 months that I could not work.
Oh wow.
So Second Life means a whole lot more to me. These are real friends.
Yes. I know you have an
You know,
issue with calling real life RL and you just do first life, right?
well, even my profile on my profile, it says First Life. It does not say Real Life.
Mm-hmm. Ah, true.
See,
Very true.
let me get on to the subject, if I may, here.
Of course, this is your platform.
There is scientific proof that your mind does not know the difference between something that is real or imagined.
Okay, can you explain that a little bit? And then in Second Life terms or Second Life living, that way we understand where you're coming from with that for Second Life itself. Oh no, Sully, I don't. There you go. Now you're talking.
The easiest way I could describe it is to watch the video that's on YouTube called My Avatar Is Me, where the lady with Parkinson's disease saw her avatar walking around,
Mm-hmm.
and she convinced herself she did not need a cane to walk, and she walked without a cane.
Oh wow, what? I don't think I've seen that. At the end of the video, you can link me, and then I'll link it to people.
I can do that.
And so, okay, so how did that? Well, I guess I'm not gonna ask you how that affected you, but for you, I know I'm gonna ask you again because you say I refuse to say real life. I just want to say first life, and that's because.
Because of the idea that who's to determine what reality is?
Mm.
For many people, I met a woman that was in a car accident in Second Life. She used to love to go out dancing. Because of the car accident, she could no longer go out and dance, but she could in Second Life. For her, that was every bit as real.
Right. Okay.
I met another woman in Second Life who said, when my avatar gets hugged, I can feel it in First Life.
Oh, I understand that part.
It depends on how far you are willing to let your mind go into the world. Your eyes can be deceived. We've all seen optical illusions. You think you're seeing one thing, but it's something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
When I make friends in here, I consider them real friends. I've done things for them. They've done things for me. You know, these are people I've never met. Chances are I'll never meet them in First Life,
Mm-hmm.
person to person. It's the whole concept of something that's real. If it's real to you, then it's real.
Right. Right.
You know, I know for many people, Second Life is just a game. I also despise that term, that it's a game. There are games within SL, but SL itself isn't a game.
I will agree with that. Mm-hmm.
There's no points. It's just a creative, social, music-filled, art-filled. Yes, it's all digital art, but it's still artwork. Everything in here is created by the users. These chairs we're sitting on were created by people just like us.
Mm-hmm.
The scenery behind us was created by somebody just like us. So that to me, that's every bit as real as the physical world. It just happens to be within a computer.
You know what a perfect example for everyone in Second Life, whether we're young or older, to talk about how Second Life makes us feel? It's when you fall in love with someone, or the illusion of falling in love with someone in Second Life. Have you ever fallen in love in Second Life?
Ladies, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting, ladies.
I will link your I will link your
I've
profile.
I will just say I've had a couple of experiences in SL.
A couple
Yeah,
is pretty good for 5 years. It,
um,
it is, and we're talking about real feelings, like you said,
yeah. Well,
because you can date anyone once a week. But we're talking about feelings towards someone through the virtual world, and when you log off and you're still thinking about them and so forth.
I'm not like that. I'm not like that. There was one person that I spent nearly 3 years with,
Okay.
in and out of SL.
Okay.
It was only on like Skype or something. We would watch movies. We were in 2 different countries. We'd watch movies together. We'd just talk on Skype. And so yeah, it was in SL and out of SL.
But Sully, that's a very long time. If you've only been close to 5 years, you've been with that person for 3 years. That's more than half of your Second Life.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you've experienced it then.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, again, it was pretty bizarre. It's not a very simple thing to tell the story. It's as with me, anybody that gets to know me, they find out that my stories tend to be kind of lengthy. There's a lot involved.
It makes for a very good conversation. You don't ever want to meet people that don't really talk in Second Life, because the whole aspect of Second Life is communication, whether it's typing or voicing.
It's a big social. It's a very cool social platform with a ton of creativity and a ton of talented musicians in here.
Which is your main thing in Second Life, right? You're mainly in Second Life. No, that's a no.
This all started as a forest in a skybox. And when we talked to our landlord at the time, if we could have a live singer come in, the landlord said, absolutely not. I have to consider the other tenants. So we decided to move to a piece of land, and the whole idea was to have a small little area for a musician to play, so we could get them to come in to see the forest. That was the whole idea in the beginning. And then the woman that helps me run all this, my Second Life little sister, Velvet, when we first met, we met through another musician in Second Life. Actually, a woman that's become a good friend of mine. It's one of them friends. We don't get to talk a lot. Once in a while, I'll comment on something she posts on Facebook, but she's still, I consider her one of my best friends in Second Life. So Velvet and I met through a conference call that this musician started. Okay. Lexus Melody. I'll toss her name out there. Let me do some name dropping here. Lexus Melody, British singer-songwriter. She's awesome. She started a conference call, and there were only 2 people that answered that day, and that was me and Velvet. That's how I first met Velvet. And we got into a discussion. It's like, so what do you do? What do you do? And so she started telling me she's a classically trained violist, and she once sang in a choir that backed up Barbra Streisand. And I said, well, I play guitar a little bit, and I try to sing a little bit. And so we talked for about 3 hours. And she started introducing me to the things that she did in Second Life, and one of those things she did in Second Life was breeding Mirus.
Oh my goodness, I remember the Mirus. Are they still around?
Yes, they are. She's still breeding some.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there were people, apparently back in the day when those things were hot, there were people funding actual houses and cars with the sales of those nests at auctions. I saw a nest at an auction sell for 45,000 lindens.
Wow, yeah, I do remember that, to be honest. There's a Soul. Hey, Soul, I'm going to read what she says, what she's saying in the comment, okay?
Okay.
I'm in my early 20s and I find it hard to find people my age, but to be honest, I really don't like my generation or my age group. I also had to grow up at an early age, like you did. My friends are in their 30s and 40s in SL, and I feel like I can connect with these people. They can offer a lot of advice that I need. It's like having older siblings.
That makes perfect sense.
Do you have younger friends in Second Life?
I do, I think, but we've never discussed our actual ages. That it's not a topic that comes up too often in SL. It's either you click with people or you don't.
Very interesting. In my age group, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to say age group, but with my friends, I think we go straight. I'm sorry, to real life stuff. Like, oh, how old are you in real life, or what is it you do in real life, or what brings you to Second Life, type of things, and then we go from there. And I feel that's how I connect with my friends. Of course, I do respect those that do not want to share their real life information and things like that, but I personally feel a little more close with people that it's not because of their age, like for you as my friend, right? It's not because you're in your 60s I'm not going to hang out with you or whatnot, but I do feel more when it's my age group. I talk about real life more than I do about Second Life itself. So I think that main point would be that everybody, quote unquote, quote, so you don't get mad at me, I'm going to say plays Second Life differently. Right? I know you were going to get mad at me for saying that, but quote unquote plays a Second Life differently.
I think I will say that I've had a lot of people in both worlds that, after getting to know me, have made a comment to me that I would have been a good counselor.
Oh, were you for free?
I've done a lot of counseling of people in SL as well.
Well, age does bring you a lot of knowledge from life, right? Especially
that depends on the person. I would say that depends
also
on the person, because I've met people my age and older who are really, really not too bright. In both worlds.
Right, where they don't grow up.
Trust me, people, I'm really not a jerk. I'm really not. I'm a nice, sweet guy. You ask anybody who knows me, and say he's a sweetheart.
So there was actually I don't want to call it a fight, a conflict in Facebook not that long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, about people saying that younger people shouldn't be in Second Life. What do you think about that one?
As far as I know, 16 is old, or SL is open
I'm
to
talking
people
about
18.
18 and plus, yeah.
Yeah, SL is open to people 18 and older, and it's an online platform. And as far as I know, we still don't have any restrictions on the internet, so get over it.
Plain and simple, that was it.
Yeah, well, it's sometimes as human beings, we tend to try to overcomplicate things. Why does this have to be? Sometimes things just are what they are.
Right.
But you don't have to analyze every aspect of every inch of life.
And as you did mention about your friend that had the disability, disabilities don't discriminate age. So people tend to forget that young people can and are disabled that are in Second Life, and it is a huge part of their life.
I had a 30-year-old woman who had a disability, and her and I got along great.
Right.
And we didn't look at our ages. We were almost a thing. We weren't looking at.
That's amazing. Ages. So that's like a 30 age gap, right? 30-year-old age gap.
Yeah. And it's not really that surprising if you look out there in the world. I mean, there are even websites designed for those young women looking for those sugar daddies. So.
Well, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I get sidetracked a lot.
No, it's okay. No, I was saying to be honest, because it's a good point. There's a lot of relationships here with the huge age gap. Like you said, she was 30. There's a 30-year-old gap between you guys. And you were talking about, I don't really have an age in Second Life. Anyone can just visualize how old I am. It's all about your personality. And
Right,
then,
right.
so you don't talk about your real life age with your friends and all that. I mean, it's not a
Well,
secret, but it's just
it
not.
it's not a secret. It has come up, but it's not. I think maybe in our age group, it's not a main focus.
Mm,
It's more like, so, what do you do outside of SL kind of thing. We kind of already know that we're in, our 50s or 60s or whatever. And
mm-hmm.
it's not a thing we worry about. Okay, well, I turned 55 this year, and we're going to be 56 next year, and it's not something we focus on really. It's just we are who we are. I can't speak for people younger than me. I know when I was younger, we never, people I met, we didn't focus on how old we were.
Yeah.
We hung around with people that were into the same things we were into.
And that's what Second Life is about, though, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
kind of like the
And
16-year-old kid you were talking about who was into
yeah,
Tom Jones.
it was amazing. He looked at me as either an older brother or a father figure.
Right.
And I told him one time, we were talking on Skype, he lost his parents somehow.
No.
He lived with his grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of looked to me as like an older brother or father figure. I'm not sure which. But, he was 16 years old. He loved Tom Jones. All the kids in his age bracket didn't understand him. But he and I would talk every once in a while on Skype. And I told him, I said, look, we were talking about his schoolwork. I said, look, when you go to school, don't take everything your teachers say as gospel, truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody that teaches you something is only going to teach you what they learned and how they learned it.
Right.
He came back to me one day. I gotta tell you, you'd be so proud of me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was all excited. He said, my teacher was teaching, I read on this, my teacher was teaching the wrong thing. I stood up and said, this is not right. You're not teaching us the right thing. So he had read a bunch of books on this. Well, I don't remember what the subject was, but he had read a bunch of books. And the teacher in his class was not teaching the exact correct thing.
Right. There's some Jenny, thank you. I'm going to read you what she said about her Second Life, okay? Can you hear me, Sully? Oh, there we go.
I'm as interested about their experiences in Second Life as they might be about mine.
Me too. Let's talk about Jenny. She says, I've been in Second Life 13 years. I was brought by my real life best friend, who then abandoned me on the grid after about 6 months. By that time, I had figured out I could be a mom, and that kept me here and continues to keep me here, and I always will. I'm now 46. If you're still here, Jenny, let me ask you, are you talking about like a Second Life mom? I'm assuming, right? But 46, there's all age groups in Second Life.
Yes, there is. Well, I'll just ask Jenny, if you want me to find that person and beat him up, I will.
Who are you talking about? Her best friend that left? No, she just left Second Life. You don't
She said she abandoned her. How dare you abandon a friend?
For legal purposes, he's just kidding.
Yes, I'm joking. It's all a joke.
Oh, I see. So she cannot have kids in real life. I understand. Yes, that's another complete different topic, but that is another huge part of Second Life.
I actually know a woman that runs a sim that has the entire family living thing, and she helps new moms get set up with their babies and how to take care of them, the whole 9 yards.
And I think we're talking about like Zuby, right? Zuby.
I'm not. I think so, but I can't say for sure which babies she does.
And actually, let me correct myself. It's not just even about Zuby babies, because they're just Animesh, but you can actually have the whole family aspect in Second Life with Second Life kids as well. So yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, Jenny, if I'm not mistaken. That is
Yeah,
a
I have a friend of mine who met a man that had two, and they have three together now. His two and another one. She had contacted me one day. She's like, Sully, we want to put up this artwork in our baby's room, but the walls, they had a log cabin.
mhm.
But our walls are log cabin walls, and the picture doesn't hang. The logs come through it. So I went over there and I said, I can mesh you some walls to fit over this. But yeah, the babies would talk to me, and I could ask them questions, and they would talk back to me. I get it. I totally get it.
So yeah, it's a perfect example actually from Jenny, that in that section, quote unquote section of Second Life, a lot of the people that do have babies and stuff like that are older people as well, that either have grown kids now in real life, or like Jenny, they can't have kids in real life.
Yes, or that lady that I knew that loved to dance, she couldn't dance anymore. There used to be a large influx of military men who lost limbs in wars, and
Yes.
Second Life still allowed them to get around and do things. And it it's called a virtual world, and that's exactly what it is. It's a virtual world. Anything and everything you can go out and do in your first life and more exists in Second Life.
Very, very true and sad. That is very true. I do remember the video about a veteran in Second Life, and how it made him feel being in Second Life, that he could walk and run while he was logged in, at least. And as you were explaining, it's all about the feelings that we have in Second Life,
Yes.
because an avatar is just an avatar, but the person running it has the avatar's feelings with it. So when you
I,
meet someone and fall in
I will
love,
tell you, I have a story for you.
mhm.
I have a story for everybody, because Sully likes to tell stories.
Thanks.
Although this is a true story. There was a musician in Second Life. He was new to the grid.
Mhm.
Very, very new. He and I became friends. He came up with the most profound saying one day, and I'm not going to get it exactly correct, but he met someone in Second Life. He had a girlfriend who he and his girlfriend did not get along.
Mhm.
They were living together, and there's always two sides to every story, but according to him, she was very dominating and not a pleasant person.
Mhm.
He met a fellow musician in Second Life, and everybody around them could see the attraction between the two, even though it was just their avatars and the conversations they would have in like local chat.
Mhm.
Everybody could just see there was an attraction.
Of course, you can sense it.
They ended up getting together in First Life.
Mhm.
But he came to me one day. He goes, it never really is the avatar, is it? Everybody, it starts Second Life, but it's really always First Life, isn't it?
It's never really the avatar. I love
The
that.
avatar doesn't choose who to talk to. The avatar doesn't choose who to hang out with. He said, and and he was like, I think he was less than a year old in Second Life.
Right.
And it was very, very profound words from that newbie. And that's the truth. We don't choose Second Life. Like, it's the person behind the avatar that chooses who they hang out with, who they talk to.
I love that. It's never really the avatar. It really isn't.
It isn't.
I mean, even our sense of style comes through. Maybe
It does.
right. I
Well,
mean,
like before you started the stream, I told you
mhm.
the guy people talk to in Second Life, that Sully guy that's sitting next to you there.
Mhm.
I'm the same guy outside.
Right.
I look a little bit older than him, but
But that's what Second Life is all about.
I mean, I have actual videos, my First Life videos on my Second Life Facebook. I'm not hiding who I am.
Well, you're
I'm not
very
here.
open with your real life
I,
as well, with your Facebook.
yeah, I'm not here playing a character. In my opinion, even people who are into the RP thing,
Mhm.
have to be putting some of their very own personality into it. It might be a deep, dark part of their personality,
Mhm.
but it's a part of their personality because there is no way a person can be totally something different unless they're a psychopath.
That's true.
That's some psychological fact. I know a psychologist. I could get written proof of that.
Right. No, that makes complete sense, actually.
It's yeah. So we are who we are in Second Life. Um, most of us are a glorified version of ourselves, or the best that we remember ourselves.
Mm. Okay. Most of
Um,
us.
the majority of us. Before I had my makeover, I made my avatar look as much like me as I could, and
Mhm.
everybody asked me why. I said because that's what I want to do.
Personal choices.
The woman that got me into Second Life, she goes, "Why be a human? That's boring. You can be anything you want in Second Life."
Yeah, I get a lot. I get that a lot.
And I pretend to prefer my human form. I could have showed up in my huge dragon avatar, but it wouldn't fit on the screen.
But 99% of the time, you're always a human.
Yes, most of the time.
And again, it comes down to what you want to do in Second Life. I do get it. I do get that a lot. Why are you a human in Second Life when you can be anything you want? But
Well, I know a chicken in Second Life that sings. Very, very, very good singer. Very, very good singer. Um, but since I'm not joking, I'm being serious. He's the singing. Everybody knows him as the singing chicken. But since I recently started playing last November, I started to play and sing in Second Life at encouragement a lot of friends of mine.
Mhm.
Like you got it. I don't think I'm all that, but people seem to enjoy what I do. So for doing that, I prefer to have the human form to do that.
Right, right.
The every one of our performers here is basically a human form. So I think we welcome anybody to come to the venue, but it doesn't matter what avatar you're in. As long as you're decent people, come on, hang out with us.
Okay. So it says Jenny's like everyone has their personal choice, and so many people forget personal choice is just that personal. My choice to be
Mm-hmm.
an elfin maiden at times is mine, but 99% I'm just a human with elf ears. That's just my choice to be. Yep.
I like Jenny.
Jenny, are you
She
single?
thinks great. She thinks great. I like the way she thinks.
She does say, I feel like I need to be friends with Solly. I'm actually going to leave your enrolled legacy name as well as your display name for anyone. He's super friendly, of course. I'm not using you as a dating app right now. I'm just
Oh, darn it. That's what I was hoping for.
but if you wish to be, you can. He's an amazing person, and I'm glad that you were here with me, Sully, and sharing your experiences. And overall, there's really no discussion as whether younger people shouldn't be on Second Life versus older people shouldn't be in Second Life, and vice versa.
None whatsoever. Second Life is open to anybody 18 and over, and if you can find your calling in here, and you can. There are people, it was stated by a certain blog site
Mhm.
that there were 6-figure creators in Second Life.
Of course, yep.
I mean, if you look at the large body and head manufacturers, I'm sure they're making an okay living for themselves.
I know they
And
are.
you don't even have to get to that level. If it's a small little residual income, or if you just Second Life is kind of like an adult coloring book.
It really is.
Coloring is very therapeutic. It's very soul soothing. There's a release that comes from it. Second Life offers that. The other thing that offers for the older people, because part of this segment was about older people in Second Life, it's proven fact that keeping your mind active as you get older helps keep away things like Alzheimer's and dementia. Second Life is perfect for that because there's always something new to learn, always something to keep your mind active. If you're not keeping your mind active in Second Life, you're doing something wrong.
I'm glad that you brought that up because there's a lot of posts, sadly, that say, "Oh, I'm taking, I don't know what. I've been on my platform for 4, 5, 6 hours. I don't know what to do." But Second Life is such a big world. How do you keep yourself so busy in Second Life? Like you said, you've not had a break before because you keep so busy in Second Life. What is it that you do?
Well, if I don't know if you can cam over directly to your right, far, 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 far over to the edge of the sim over there. There's a village over there.
Let me do this a little bit.
Because I know you're an expert with camming skills.
I'm horrible. I know that's you being sarcastic.
I'm not being sarcastic. Wait. Let me be completely serious here for a minute, okay? Ollie, what you do for SL and the users of SL, I think is phenomenal.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I love watching your live streams, even if I'm joking, saying, "Oh, that model's cute. Send her over my way."
I think you watch 90% of my lives because of the really nice models. 99% of the events are mainly for women.
What I'm watching for is to see guys' stuff, which I rarely see. So that's a message to creators out there. Hey, there are guys in Second Life that do change their clothes. I happen to be one of them.
But you know that I do the men's department every 5th. So, but I think you're working at that time. But I do go live around 10 a.m. our time.
Yeah, see, that's I have to catch the recording of it.
Yeah, you do. But anyways, we're going to go back to your sim right now. And I am showing them your Mystic Muse live venue, which we were talking about. That's your biggest hobby in Second Life, right?
It takes up most of my time.
Okay.
I won't say it's my biggest. I love our venue.
Mm-hmm.
I love the artists we have here. We have an amazing lineup tonight. But I also love creating the sim that I'm creating that around. It's going to be kind of an adventure. People to come through, figure out clues, figure out where they have to go.
Oh, nice. Okay.
There's a little bit of a maze involved. There's going to be lots of little cuddle spots and picture taking areas. But if you look at the village over there, the buildings that are over there, I made all those buildings.
Okay. And that's what's been taking
most... It's not completed yet.
That's what's taking up most of your time right now.
Yeah, I love building in Second Life. I absolutely love creating. When music isn't available to me, or I'm just not in the mood to pick up my guitar or whatever, it's a great creative outlet. It keeps my brain going. I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in years.
I stopped watching TV when I joined Second Life.
Well, there's another one for you, Ali. It is proven scientific fact that if you stop watching TV for 3 months, your mind will work on a whole new level that it's never worked on before.
Oh, I don't know if that's happened to me yet. I'm sure. I'm sure it has. Let me read something to you before. I don't want to be rude and not read it. And this is Yanni Luna. It says, I have been in a relationship for 4 years with a man many years older than me. I know him in another virtual world. 1 year later, we moved to Second Life. We couldn't be together. We can't be together. We live in different countries and there are other reasons also that keep us apart physically. But Second Life to us is a way to feel close, to kiss him using an avatar. It doesn't make me feel less love, like if he were next to me. A person once said, it's stupid to fall in love virtually, that these are just pixels. Could be, who knows, but what I feel is real. What we both feel in SL is real, and that is all what matters to me. Yeah, that's what we were actually talking about. Feelings-wise.
I will add to that.
Yeah,
I will add to that. If you're with somebody, your feelings come through. If there's some connection there, your feelings come through. It doesn't matter that it's through the computer. If virtual dating was worthless, all those dating apps that are out there and swipe left and right, and those things would not exist.
Mm-hmm.
If you limit yourself, I mean, I'm old enough to remember when, dating websites and stuff first came out. And everybody's, oh, that's stupid, Dave. Who wants to meet somebody online? But you know what? If you really look at it, if you limit yourself to just your friends in the small town you live in, or the large town, if you live in a city like Chicago, you're limited to the number of people you're going to meet. And if there is only one person for you to be with, or only a handful of people for you to be with, the chances you meet that person by exposing yourself to a world of people, a lot better chance you're going to meet that one person you're supposed to be with.
Hmm.
If that all made sense.
I think the part in Second Life, if we're talking about serious people that have fallen in love in Second Life, they understand that. The people that are scared are the ones that are not taking their feelings into consideration and play with them, because it is Second Life, because it's a virtual world and it's so easy to deceive people in here, and their
It is,
feelings,
and,
of
and many
course.
and many many people have had their feelings and hearts burnt and broken. But you know what? That same thing happens out there in the actual world. You,
Hmm.
let's look at one of them so-called reality shows. You know, the husband and wife go on there, and the husband's been leading a secret life for however long. Turns out he was actually gay, or the wife was actually sleeping with the guy's brother. Or, you don't know. You never truly know anybody, and that exists even in Second Life.
Hmm. And it's not to say that it's not okay to be with someone in Second Life if you're married in real life, because I just read um, Jenny's comment that she is married in real life as well as in Second Life, but it all comes down to consent, right? Let me go back. Let me go to her comment. I will bring another layer to that feelings thing. I'm married in real life and in a cell, but two different men. My husband knows all I do on Second Life and supports it all. Supports all that I do. These are aspects of interpersonal relationships that I desire that he can't give me. I get those missing aspects from my Second Life husband, who is also married in real life. So we are that taboo. I feel like it's you know what? I think I've been in Second Life so many years that I don't even consider it taboo, especially because the four of them are okay with it. It's kind of like not
There,
go ahead.
my opinion, there are some people that use it to spice up their actual life.
Yes, definitely.
Because they know there's no actual touching going on. It's just words on a screen, basically, or maybe voices. But who's to say what two consenting adults are or are not allowed to do? I know many married couples in Second Life that have partners in First Life. A lot of them, for whatever reason, they are in basically what could be called a stuck situation.
Hmm.
That they're in a relationship that it has no future. It's there's nothing in the actual relationship, but they have one in Second Life, and
Hmm.
that's it'll never go to First Life, but that's good enough.
And it all comes down to feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, it doesn't even matter how old.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
I'm trying to bring it to the topic that it really doesn't matter how old you are in Second Life. And that's actually a whole other topic that we can actually have. I actually am super sorry and I would like to apologize. A lot of people probably don't remember this, but it was probably last year or maybe even 2 years ago. I know that you agree with me on this, Sully, that I don't know for you, but personally, I have learned so much in Second Life that I probably would have never heard of in real life. And
Mm-hmm.
I was so close minded about so many things. And one of them was that I've never heard about poly relationships. I didn't even know
Mm-hmm.
what the heck that was. So when I heard that about people doing that in Second Life, my very closed up uh, brain with these, teachings as a little kid or whatever, you just don't get out of your little bubble, right? In Second Life, I
Well,
made I made a post in Facebook That was so inconsiderate of me, and I do deeply apologize. I did apologize before, but I apologize for saying it again. And I just said, poly relationships are just people looking for an excuse to cheat.
Well, see, it's where it gets into one of those things that there are many levels of relationships, and it doesn't matter which world you're in, the virtual one or the outside physical world. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
There,
Thankfully,
there's there's an old song by Charlie Rich called "Behind Closed Doors," and the
uh-huh.
line is the song, "No one knows what goes on behind closed doors." And that's true of the people that you live next door to, down the street from you, and the people in SL. It's just in SL, if they don't have their land stuff set right, you can come in and see what the heck's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only difference. And
Since
that you imagine if you will, to everybody that's watching right now, you too, Ollie. Imagine if you had a camera in every one of your neighbors' houses, the things you might possibly see.
Oh yeah.
And especially if you're in Second Life. Just take snippets of Second Life and imagine that's going on around you in your neighborhood, in your town,
Mm-hmm. True. That's very
in your
true.
city, in your country. So
Um,
yeah, SL's opened my eyes to many, many, many things.
many things. Many, 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 many things. But thankfully, I was very well educated after. I did apologize. And I understand. It was just me being very close minded. I never even heard of the word before, which is, to people were like, how old are you? Like 10? But it's just something that was not in my vocabulary or anything like that. It's just
You know,
very.
I will. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, no, no. Go ahead. That was the end.
Early on in Second Life, one of the very, very first people I met was this very, very brilliant German woman.
Mm-hmm.
And her and I were having a discussion one day. And she was telling me, she goes, if you're open to it, if you allow yourself, Second Life can teach you a whole lot about yourself. And you're going to find out,
Yes.
your prejudices, and you'll find a lot of good and bad out about yourself. You will learn to know yourself through Second Life.
And it's true.
Yeah,
And
it's
sometimes
very
it's
true.
scary. Like, what? No, me. But
Yeah,
it's true. It
yeah.
is very true. Very, very true.
It's it's an amazing platform. I just wish it didn't get the bad rap that it does get so much. That it's all about old people wanting virtual sex, and
Mm.
there's Relay for Life that supports cancer. There's the Parkinson's, and there's Home for Our Troops.
Mm.
There's so many benefits and so many good things and so many creative aspects of Second Life. It's disgusting, the good that comes out of Second Life. But the main focus out there in the world is.
Yep. The negativity of it all. And
But
sadly, it's because, I want to say sadly, but sadly, the biggest, most popular places, it's because of those negative places. And of course, we have to be honest about it. And it's all about sex related, at least, But it is not what makes Second Life. For those that have been around for a long time, if you're new to Second Life, that's not what Second Life is just all about. Sully's a perfect example. I'm a perfect example and I would like to say that because since I've been in Second Life for a long time, I feel like I can say that I've experienced a lot to the point where I'm now in a place I never thought I would be, which is now in Second Life advertising. Like if someone told me that even 5 years ago, I'd be like, "You're crazy. I'm not doing that." But it's crazy, and if you ask someone that's been here for a long time, there's so many reasons that keep us here, and they're not because they're negative reasons. They're amazing, actually. And at the end of the day, it's the people, whether they are 20 years old or 63 years old.
Well, for some people, I mean, this is their sole existence in whatever world you want to imagine.
Mm-hmm.
This is where their friends are. You know, there's if the people have never seen the movie, oh, what the heck was it called again? Oh, Ready Player One. The movie called
I
Ready Player One.
love that movie.
So
Yes.
do I. So do I. There's a line in the beginning where that the main character, he says, you know, it's where we go to meet our friends. It's where, you know, we can be anything we want. And that's what Second Life is.
It is. And then I've heard so many people say too that they have more friends in Second Life, real friends, than they do in real life.
That goes for me.
Yeah.
Doing what I do in my first life and my particular living situation, I don't get out that often. I don't get out to do things in the actual world. And by the time I'm done working in a day, I'm too tired to do much else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I come home, I log in, I got my friends here, I got music, I can build stuff, I can do stuff, and I can do it in the comfort sitting in my underwear if I want to.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And now you just
Well,
gave us the picture of you. Are you in your underwear right now? Oh no, I think our picture froze. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see, let's try it one more time. No, we're good. Okay.
Yeah, I played in a band for many years. You know, and now that I'm playing in Second Life, I don't have to put gas in my vehicle. I don't have to load up equipment. I don't have to drive to a bar. I don't have drunks spilling beer on my, unless it's virtual beer and I'm not worried about it. I don't have somebody drunk spilling beer on my equipment. I don't have to set up equipment. I don't have to tear down equipment.
Yeah.
You know?
So much easier.
There's just so many good aspects to SL. I just wish people would see more of that. I really do.
And I am glad. I want to say is in conclusion, thank you so very much for joining me, Sully Von Swag. I have to say your last name because it's amazing.
It was an absolute honor, Ollie. It was really an absolute honor for me to do this.
And I love bringing people that give the positive energy of Second Life because it needs it every time we can actually get it, right?
I just hope your viewers liked it.
No, I'm sure they did. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and whoever made a comment. I, of course, try to read them all. But yeah, in conclusion, we don't care how old you are in Second Life. And if you do care, you shouldn't care. I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as you're a good person and treat everyone the way you want to be treated.
One last thing to say.
Of course.
Be who you want to be in Second Life. Just be kind.
Exactly. Like your friend, the chicken.
Yeah.
He literally is a chicken.
Yes, he's the singing chicken.
Alright, guys, I think this is it. Again, Sully, thank you so much. I will see you in
my
next live, probably tomorrow.
This was actually fun.
It was. We'll probably do it again with some other topics or something.
Fine with me.
I did leave Sully's venue if you are into Second Life live singers. Oops, I went a little bit too back. Let me go do this. He does have his venue where he brings live singers every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and the landmark is there for you guys. We have
an amazing lineup tonight.
Oh, even yeah.
Amazing lineup tonight, starting
Thursday.
At 4 p.m. tonight.
So the Mystic
4 p.m.
Muse,
SL.
Up until when?
It starts at 4 p.m. tonight till about 10 p.m. SL.
Oh wow! Okay, perfect. That's a lot. Yeah, you guys keep busy.
Tonight is an awesome lineup. It really, really is.
Yeah, you're right. It is a positive outlet. Thank you, Darla. Thank you, Jenny. I will see you guys later. Most likely tomorrow morning for Fifth Element and Friday, and then I do have a live sometime. Again, I have to go back to my schedule. But other than that, I'm gonna let you rest as well, Sully, because I know you're tired from work. And
no, I had coffee. I'm up.
And now you're up. And now you're up, and my camera is going all wonky. But other than that, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good afternoon. Bye bye.